Yeah. Yeah, might as well. Hey, one fell over. Got golf players on one side. People on the other side just walking around. I just need a wee before I go for a fish. Those little crows. Alright. I'll start something really simple. Worked for me last year, doesn't mean it's going to work for me this year. Just a straight hook on. And these little plastic enticers I was using last year. Just like a cicada pattern. It's a bit early for the pattern, but they just, if they're up here, they'll draw for it. It's more the action of the lure than the pattern. Instead of a normal G-lock or G-shaped worm hook, I'm using a straight shank, just to get a different angle of the point through the rubber. This fish will come up and they'll hit it. They'll be in their mouth for a split second. When they shut their mouth and put pressure on it, the point should just go straight into them. I'll get a plastic and show you. Yeah. That's what I'll be using, one of these. Last few seasons, not just last year, but since I've been using these, they've had a bit of magic to them. The hook's a little bit small. I like to go to size bigger, but won't matter today. Now we're down here to see if the start of the migration's begun. And if it has, there should be some bass with it. Oh, this creek is green. Perfect colour. Oh yeah. We're after the bass we're after will be silver, not dark. Which means that they've just ran up here. So they've got that metabolism working. So they'll eat. But more importantly, if they're up here, what we've got to do is aggravate his old bite. Once we find them, only get that first lash out at the lure and it's game on. It's one of the reasons I got this little lure on here is because we want to actually bounce the lure and sort of knock on their door, wake them up. I've got a selection of lures here. I just got to get them to show themselves. Make sure that all these holes have got fish in them. Look at this. It's got a slow sink. Oh, this water looks so good. Can't get over how clean it is. I was here 2 weeks ago. Just didn't look right. Now it does. Oh, I love this. Spent all August rigging up my gear, working on my boat. Didn't do any fishing really. Been waiting for this day. Let's go bounce here. I'm going to try and bounce as a downward motion to the cast. Like a smack into the water. This might not be the lure of choice and they might still be here, so work a bit of, that's like a section of the river, creek. I'll go through the holes. If I can't get something working with this, then I'll start doing the switches. I do think though, they're here. Might be a weight bait, they might be in the skinny water, they might be in the deeper holes. Might be on pus piles, undercuts, but they're here. They might want spinner baits, I don't know. But they're here. That's what I love about this bass fishing. It looks so good. But there's no carp down here swimming around, there's no mullet, no herring, no kingfishers. I haven't given up though. Look at these pus piles. There's got to be something hanging in this stuff. Oh no, I've got a feeling we're going to find that school somewhere. I'll turn you off till I get that first hookup. Otherwise the video's a waste of time anyway. But I can feel it. It feels so bassy. There's going to be something today. If not, I'll go to the river tomorrow. Big Red's up and running, so I want to do a series of river videos this year. Most of the fish are in the river, but a little honey eater come up. But there should be a few up in there. There's the cockies. That's a tip. When the cockies are squawking, the fish are biting. Didn't have the camera on. Oh, look at this. I've got the fever. He's only little. What's going on? I've got the fever. Oh. Could this be the first bass for the season? Best thing was he just charged at that. He charged at it. Check this out. A bit far out now. Going down, buddy. He's right out the back there. He charged out, so it's in that darker green water there. Okay. Alright, so you want another go? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, you can stay there hiding, buddy. I'm going to get you though. Yep, got him. Oh! Ah! He was silver. He was silver, mate. They're the ones. They're the ones. Awesome. Non-official landing, and it was subsurface. So I got him on the tap on the bottom. There you go. Not a landed bass, but look at all the water. I got the fever. Look, knotted up. Doesn't take much for me to get bass fever. That's the addictive part of this style of fishing. Just tippy-toeing through, worried about snakes already, and then he hit, and it's game on. He wanted it too. That's what I loved about it. Silver, cranky. I reckon I might have another go at him later. Anyway, we're going to move on. That was awesome. Come on, little fishies. Come out a fair way the first time to get that lure, so I'm hoping Might get a few open water fish come out. Like, you know, across these snags as it hits the sunlight. Because the visual side of that's just unbelievable. Anyway, it's one. Little bass has already got me shaking. I'm looking down here, there's fresh deer tracks. I'm already worried about snakes. And there's golfers across the side there playing golf. I'm in the jungle. It's the last of these sort of creeks in Sydney. It's a shame because man can create these things and man can destroy them. Oh, I want to change lures, but not yet. Not yet. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. Just got to work out. The best thing was that other bass was silver. That's what I wanted to know. We're coming up to full moon, so they're not going to be too towy. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm turning you off and I'm going to go hardcore for a while. So the birds and the bees, there's a full beehive up there. Look at them going nuts. I think I might just slowly walk away from here. I could hear them. There's thousands of them up there. Shopping to him like a big kid. I always want to bust the beehive open just to get to the honey. Just seen a carp. First carp I've seen in the stretch, and Lou went near and got so spooked, shot down. So I got a feeling the water's just so clear. Treatment water's coming through. Got a feeling. They're deep in these undercuts. Another carp then that's mulling around the tree roots there, so there's just a bit more life, and life is everything when you start these seasons. So I'm going to keep working my way down. I've got a funny feeling they're going to be in current, so I might get down to the skinny water. For you, there's only one real area that you've got to worry about the snakes, and that's this little bit of top bank, because honestly, if you just lay down in this right now, it's beautiful and warm. And as you walk back this way into the forest, it gets sort of dewy and you can feel the temperature drop. So it's really around those edges when you're walking down, you've got to just watch out, because there's a big old dopey snake just laying on the bank in the sun. Just and it's exciting. Like if you sneak up and you're watching all the time, when you do see that big fella, it's like, oh, how cool is this? Just like this pus pile I just saw. How cool is that? Oh, they look too cool. Way too cool. Go on the other side and come across it, I think. We've got the white moths. Dragonflies are around. So this, you know, it's about 10:30 in the morning. The sun's up, everything's starting. That first wave of life out of the ground starting to pop. Oh, critter ball for Sally. Cool. Alright. Which way do I go? Alright, we've got two pus piles, one there and one there. Big laydown snag through the middle. Now that laydown would be the trap, just on dark or into the dark. They'd be sitting on that. There's some ripples over there, so that could be a carp or something swimming around. Just check. Now these two pus piles is something that bass will sit under if they're active. If they're not, they'll be on the undercuts, but just as I put the camera on and explain is because in the course of bass season you're going to see these things explode. Big angry bass come out of them. Well, I've only had that one strike so far, so I sort of partly think I'm fishing the wrong method. I also stuck with this method because I mostly think the fish I want to stacked up tight together in a stretch, and I reckon that I'm working this widest. Oh, that is a school of little mullet there, or big mullet. They're about 3-4 inches long, swimming over the top of the log. Oh, that is, yeah, look at them. There'll be 100%, like 100% of them will die. There'll be zero survival. So that means there's big bass in here. So I'm going to go down and look at my skinny water fish. Oh, I see him raise up. See that? You got to watch those mullet because they know they're going to get et. Oh, awesome! It's on. It's on. Oh. Right. So those big minnow make me think maybe a lure change might be worth a go. Oh, did I bring any Z-Man? Yeah, where are they, Coggy? Tell me when the cockies are squawking, the fish are around. All the signs are saying, I've got to walk around here. All the signs are saying that there's some fish to be had here. Here's another sign you look for. Hear these frogs? Now they're up the top in that water there. Down here in the creek you can't hear any frogs. So it just says it all. No frog lives past dark here. I just had oh no, now I'm snagged. I just had a monster bass come out of this little spinner. Right there. He was a chunk. Right there. It's about my 5th cast right across here. He just tapped it. I let it sit and I got snagged. It was a good one though. Okay. I think it's time for a bigger leader. Oh, I don't want to lose that. If I had a bigger leader, I could bend that hook and just... No. Jeez, it was a good one though. I've just tried a little tiny worm hook, weighted worm hook. I don't know, he was a big fish. The big fish are smart. I think I'll be coming back for this guy. But before I leave, see if he's dumb enough to do this. Oh, he was a big girl. He was a big girl. He wanted the spinner though. Tied 10-pound leader, huh? I reckon that's going to be strong enough. Oh, it's a good fish. That's why you bass fish. It's not always successful. I've only seen 2 fish all day and that was a monster fish. He doesn't want the surface. I would move on and leave him, which is what I think I will do. Come back later. Long-tailed sheep there, they don't even know I'm here. Sheep, goats, llama. There's some fat lambs this year. Look, there's a alpaca over there. It was a three-legged alpaca or llama. I get them mixed up before. What an unlikely couple, eh? You can almost pat the other one. It's a mob of crazy wild animals. Look, the horse and the whatever it is, just playing together. What's that big old billy goat over there? Whoa! I wonder if I can get up to him. Look at the size of him. He's all white with a giant big black head. Oh, that's a sheep. We're in the skinnies now, and I can smell them. There's an oil in this water. Starting to see a couple of water doggies now. They're the bearded dragons that live on the river. And they're swimming in the water, they're active, so that's another sign. So these are all little signs of a puzzle. When you get all the pieces together, there's nothing like it. Thinking about weight baits in my head. I might go back to that cicada and bounce up a bit first. Perfect example of a back eddy. You got current ripping past, you got that swell and backwater there. There's lots of little sweet spots for a bass to just sit and come out when he feels like it. Oops, too short. And it might take a few goes to get one up and bite, but if they're in there, they will be active through the day. Like, it's not just a staging place, it's an opportunistic place. I just suck back there and a school of mullet or something swim through. Just think I need something to wake them up, something loud. The finesse isn't working. As good as it looks, I've had no joy in this skinny water. I think those bass are sulking in the holes, but then have a look at this. I'm going to go that way in a minute, but I'll start over here. It's a perfect lay for bass. The calm water, they can hide there. Anything coming through with the migration's going to have to swim under that. Poor things. But when they're there, and they will, it'll be another week or two, it'll start getting better, and it'll just get hotter and hotter and hotter until we get more rain, and then who knows. Rain will probably wreck it with all the paint and chemicals coming in here. But until then, we might get a bit of a run on. This bad boy go. A couple of rings out there. Too many trebles on this thing that go too deep, but you just don't know until you give it a go. I'll go up and do the whole hole with this before I switch. I can hear the golfers over there. You hear the earthwork, sirens in the background. You feel like you're in the wilderness. Oh, that looks so good. I'll work this and I'll come back for the weight bait. Work out, now I'm going to go to a weight bait to see if I do a bit of chopping. And then I think it's all about time and energy. I think I might walk out of here because I got the whole weekend off. I got Big Red sitting there at home with bass boat. wants a run. Got it ready for the season, and the fish could be at the other end of this system, so I might get in the car and have a look down there as well. I know there's fish up here now, so it's only going to get better as this warms up. Oh, this is wake bait. It's not the wake. That's the chop sound I can make with it. It'll make them think bass are feeding. Oh, the wind's blowing up. Let's get down a bit lower to get that chop working. That's it. Once you get that chop working, and then I'll just bring it back. No, I've really been chopping this water up with it. Hasn't got anything, but I'm thinking another switch might be in order. Just I know something's going on. That's better. No joy. I'm going to work my way out, and I'm going to come back and get this fish on another day. Yeah, you're going down, buddy. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I'm going to walk out. You never know, I might get another fish. I haven't even landed one today, but it's been 3 long months of winter. 4 if you count May. May was cold this year. So I'm just glad to be on the creek for the first time. And what I've seen now means I can start hunting. Like, I know there's a few fish up here, but we've seen mullet, we've seen a couple of bass, but the migration must be still further down the river. Stay tuned for my next video. I should be doing quite a few videos coming up. I've basically had a break. I've done nothing but work and prepare. Got a bit of pride back, so I've sorted out my man shed. Looks sort of half like a tackle shop, half like a man shed. Little bass that make my day. So all the stuff I'm walking through, all the rubbish. And there's millions of dollars spent with governments and donations all around the world, billions, trying to clean up the oceans. I mean, this is the back of Blacktown, mate. Don't you think? Clean up your drainage systems, clean up your sewage systems, spend major infrastructure on getting all that right, and then none of this will end up in the ocean, because this is where it's coming from. Now check that beehive out. This is going to be a prime bass spot. We have one cast. I am allergic. I'm going to go around now, boy. Oh, yeah. One cast. I am allergic to bees. Only because I spent 2 days working for a beekeeper and I got stung about 300 times, and ever since then I'll blow up now. I'm still fascinated with them though. Especially the wild ones. Alright, I'll leave them alone and get away from here. Hear them. This place is over the next few days, or week, this place will just get a heartbeat. The water will start pulsing from mosquito fish and gudgeons. Insects will crack. Everything will just come to life. Just like those bees. It's looking pretty dead right now, but that doesn't bother me too much. I know when they do turn up, I'm going to have some fun. Look at all this structure in here. I mean, pretty well every timber's possibly got a fish on it at one stage or another. It's working out when they're positioning and when they're sulking. Call it quitting time. I know they're here. Oh. Come on. That's where I dropped that fish earlier. It's only a little peck, but it was a fish. Got him. Yep. It's a little one. There you go. Now it's a fish. Oh, see how dark he is? So now it's official, it's bass season. But no, we got a bit to go. Oh, it hasn't been in there that long. But anyway, there you have it. All that walking. And it was good because I got myself in tune. I've got my... Hey, don't. Come here, mate. Come here. I won't let you go properly. My first bass for the year. See you, mate. So it's really, the season's not on yet, but look, if you work hard, I mean, I lost one beetle spin. I've covered all this timber through here, and look at it. And there's times you don't see on camera where I just... I can't even get the camera off. But anyway, there's times you don't see on camera where I just sit back on a log and I just listen to the noises and just relax. You know, my mind's I have a mathematical mind. I'm always thinking, I'm always counting, and this last month or so I've been measuring jobs in my sleep instead of catching bass in my sleep. Look at that. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but that was a kingfisher. And that kingfisher is, without him, you have nothing. So that's the last sign I needed to see, that beautiful blue kingfisher. Awesome. What a great morning. And I've only been down here for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I drew that real big bass with beetle spin too, but it had a red tail on it. And I was coming up here and the red tail just didn't look right. Oh. Dag nabbit. I'm not loading up again, I'm walking out. That's it. I should have used a worm hook, that's my fault. Not to worry. Awesome. Actually I will tie on, because what's the point of having a rod with no lure on it? Look at what I've got to walk through. Well, this would have saved me a lot of, or 2 beetle spins if I put a worm hook on first of all. So that's what I've done now. But I am walking out. The mission was to get my first bass. First of many this year. And it's no easy feat. Alright, I'm on. To sum up the morning, I basically walked a couple of k's of this jungle, casting over every single log. I've drawn 2 fish and landed 1. So that's pretty good. I mean, this is the last day of August, and it is a traditional season. We have had the August winds this year, so there should be big, mean, angry schools of bass working their way up to here as I speak. So I'll probably go down the other end next and see what I can find. But it's a challenge that you give yourself, and when you walk out of here with that tiny little bass that's landed and let go, you feel like you've succeeded. Gives you a buzz, and then you don't even realise what you've learnt. The migration teaches you so much. So give it a go. Get out here. Widen these tracks for me. Look after this creek. Need more people than just me on it. Otherwise we'll lose it. Oh, hello my little pets.